we had just started getting a lot of corona tests because for the first few months, we didn't really have testing. They were hard to come by. So
virus test or antibody test?
So yeah, I was asking him for the antibody test at that time about 2 weeks ago. So he took it from me and he goes, listen, everybody thinks they had it. It's psychological at this point. And he said, you're going to come back negative. He goes, but it takes about 10 minutes. So he takes it. And while it was kind of doing its thing, he looked down at it real quick and he said, yeah, it's going negative. You're going to be negative. And we started talking. And about 5 minutes later, he looked down and I saw his reaction. His eyes almost came out of his head. And he looked down again. He looked at me and he looked down again. He looked at me and he goes, you're positive. He goes, you're positive. And I said, okay. I said, I'm not shocked. I said, I had it.
Your reaction when you learned that you had antibody was, okay, that was it.
Yeah, my reaction was, okay, wow. It wasn't shocked to me because I knew what I knew. And frankly, my doctor said, listen, don't go out and change your life. You still need to wear masks. You still need to social distance. And this is the part that, I want to be very clear about. I did test positive for corona antibody, and I believe that I had it in November when I was gravely, gravely ill, sicker than I've ever been in my adult life with nearly every single one of the symptoms. I never, ever said I had an absolute certainty. There's two options here. Either I was sick in November. Option B is I was recently positive, but I was asymptomatic. The problem with the more recently is that my test shows two antibodies. It's the antibody that has IgG, and I believe it's IgM. IgM is the more recent antibody. IgG is the longer term one that's been in your system for the longer amount of time, and that's the one I tested positive for. So when you couple together my symptoms, when you couple together the fact that the antibody test was positive, when you couple together the fact that I had the longer antibody in my system, and there's no way anybody will ever convince me that I was asymptomatic because nobody I've been around recently has tested positive.